Hello, good morning or good afternoon to all of my beautiful and precious mathematicians. How are you doing? I hope that everything has been well with you guys today, and I hope that it only keeps getting better from here. It is a pleasure to be here and to be able to help you guys understand math just a little bit deeper. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in really quick. I hope that you all had a great holiday weekend. I know that I did, and I hope that you rested lots. With that in mind, I hope that today you brought your thinking caps. We're going to do a whole bunch of thinking today and a whole lot of learning. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. So, I hope that you all remember, but if you don't, that's okay. I'll go ahead and refresh your minds. Last week on Monday, we did talk a little bit about division, the topic of division. And I just wanted to ask really quick before we dive into the subject, does anybody remember what we said as far as the definition for division? Or perhaps let me rephrase it. When I say the word division, what comes to mind? What do you think about? Is there a particular symbol? Is there an object? Is there a math drawing? How about a word problem? Do you think about word problems? Well, whatever you may be thinking, I am almost 100% sure we can relate it back to division. And that is so awesome. And I'm so proud of you guys. Now, I know that division can be a little bit tricky, but there is one thing that I want you to remember. You are smart, you are courageous, you are brave, and we can tackle this. So I don't want you to be afraid. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm here to help you, and I don't want you to feel like this is something that cannot be overcome, because it can be. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the definition. So, division is more so whenever you are splitting a number, maybe splitting objects evenly. You're dividing them, you're splitting. So division's a lot about splitting, okay? But division does have a buddy. Just like how we talked about addition and subtraction are buddies, division and multiplication are also buddies. So, and it's actually pretty cool. I'll probably dive into a little fun fact later, but I want to tell you guys about a story that actually happened, and really recently too. So, a couple of hours ago, Miss Diamond was talking with her cousin here at my house, and I don't remember the conversation's details, but I remember that I mentioned something about Cheeto Puffs. And she said, Cheeto Puffs sounds really good right now. And guess what? Miss Diamond actually had Cheeto Puffs. So I say, I have some Cheeto Puffs. We should eat some. So I go to our little snack drawer and I get out the Cheeto Puffs and I open it up and I look inside and I go, I only had 12 Cheeto Puffs. So me and my cousin are looking at each other like, are we gonna fight over the Cheeto Puffs? But we came to something that sounded a little bit more fair, and we decided that we were gonna split the Cheeto Puffs. So that brings us to the lesson of today. Ta-da! So Miss Diamond has decided to recreate the little situation that me and my cousin went through a little earlier. So, as you can see, Miss Diamond has her Cheeto Puffs out here in the front. There is 12 Miss Diamond counted. And over here we have 2 plates, one for each person, right? So this is Miss Diamond's plate, and this we'll say is my cousin Michaela's plate, okay? So I decided to use the real thing because I think that might be a little bit more useful if we can see what we're actually dealing with. So you might be wondering, I can see it, but what does it look like when it's an actual equation? Well, I'm so glad you asked because, ta-da, we have 12 Cheeto Puffs divided by 2, because we have 2 plates, equals, we're not too sure yet. 12 is our dividend. Now a dividend is a number being divided, okay? And it also tells us, in some cases, tells us what's gonna be split into even groups, okay? Because it's gonna be split up in just a little bit. This is our division symbol, right? This is our divisor. Now this is the number that is being divided by the dividend. Okay, this also tells us how many equal groups we have, right? Alrighty, and then this is our quotient. Whatever the number is gonna be right here is gonna be our quotient. And that's basically the result or the answer of dividing these two numbers up front. Okay, now we may not see it here, but in some cases, when you do division in the future, you might see a remainder. Now a remainder is just the amount left over after dividing, just a little bit left over that didn't quite fit all the way perfectly. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this, but there are different ways that division presents itself, different symbols. We have this one, this is our, this is the division symbol we're most likely to see right now, right? As you get older, you might see a little slash. And then finally, you've seen this one, fractions. Now fractions are division too. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, now there are 2 different types of interpretations for division. We have how many groups, okay? How many equal groups can we make, okay? Let's experiment a little. Okay, so how many groups? We're gonna look at how many groups we can make, okay? So we don't know how many groups we have quite yet. So let's say that Miss Diamond has 12 Cheeto Puffs and she wants to put 6 on her plate and 6 on her best friend's plate. How many plates can Miss Diamond fill up? Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and do one at a time. 1 here, 1 here. Oh no, we're gonna do 6 and 6. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do 6 on the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you know? We filled up how many plates did we fill up? 2. Good job. We filled up 2 plates. So this actually, since the plates are our groups, we filled up 2 groups, 2 plates with our units, or in this case, our little Cheeto Puffs. They're so yummy, I want to eat them. Okay, let's go ahead and put these back. So how many groups? We're figuring out how many groups. What can we fit our little units into? Okay, what can we fit our objects into? We have a lot of them. Where can we fit them? Okay, and how many can we fit them in? Okay, now let's look at our second interpretation. How many units in one group? So let's go ahead and look at this. So how many in one group is basically asking how many are in each group, okay? So how many are in one group? Wants to know how many in one group. Okay, so let's look at a situation. So it wants to know, doesn't want to know how much is in both groups. It wants to know how much is just in one group. Okay, so Miss Diamond has 12 Cheeto Puffs. She wants to share with her best friend, Carly. How many puffs will go on each plate? Okay, so we want to know how much will go on each plate, Just one plate. Let's look at one plate. How much will go on one plate? Is it going to be the same as this plate? Let's find out. We're going to go ahead and do 1 and 1 until we finish all the Cheeto Puffs. One here. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So how many went on each plate? Well, we have 6 Cheeto Puffs on this plate and 6 Cheeto Puffs on this plate. Wow, it seems like we have 6 Cheeto Puffs on each plate. On one plate, there's 6 Cheeto Puffs. On another, there's 6 Cheeto Puffs. So each one contains 6 Cheeto Puffs. Alrighty, kids. Well, I think that is it for today's mini lesson. I hope that you learned lots, and I cannot wait to see you next time.